Hello and welcome back to another episode of Project Oarai. Now don't worry, we are going to still be building the Chinatown, but you know, I did actually originally have this episode finished and, well, not finished, I was editing it when I decided to basically delete all the footage and go back in game and just dismantle everything pretty much and try and build it again with a few things kind of in the same place, but for the most part of it I just rebuilt quite a lot of it because I don't know, I just didn't like it. And I'm kind of glad that I did, because while I was dismantling it and I was wondering what I was going to put in this tiny section here, and I was just going to put a park, but it kind of just seemed a little bit silly to put a park here when we already have Osaka Castle just across the road. So I just had this idea of just putting a little courthouse, not a major one. I do actually plan on doing another courthouse somewhere else in the city that's going to be a lot bigger. It's probably going to be close to where the main police station is. I'm gonna make it this huge building or something. But anyways, less about that and more about this. Yeah, so I had this idea of a courthouse and I wasn't really too sure what building to use because it's hard to kind of get a building to kind of look like a courthouse, but I figured this one kind of looks close enough, and I think if we edit a few things and put a few props in the right places, we can really make it look like a courthouse. And I kind of went a little bit over the top with the prop people, because I was trying to think of how I could really sell this as a courthouse without me just saying, yeah, this is a courthouse, and then you all go, oh, okay, yeah, it looks like a courthouse, okay. And as you'll have seen from my YouTube community page, I just put like a load of prop people outside and then two people leaving the courthouse with some security and police everywhere. And yeah, so I'm thinking in my head that whoever it is, that they must be a politician or someone in the government or something to draw that big of a crowd. So yeah, I'm just going with it's a politician or someone in the government, and that's why the crowd's so huge. And you know, there's rubbish everywhere and there's all that security and police. And I'll be honest, I just think it's kind of cool because it's been a while since I've kind of done like a point of interest, because you know, I've done stuff in the past like the road that had collapsed, I'd done the hot springs, we'd done a couple of car crashes, and we just done all these little tiny points of interest. And I thought, hey, why not just put one in finally, because it's been a while. I'm probably going to put one in Osaka Castle when eventually we get there to that as well. Maybe a load of people around something, or I'm not too sure. But actually, on Osaka Castle real quick, I have managed to actually fix the majority of the problems that are with it. All that's left to do is to just resize a lot of the props, which is gonna be really tedious and annoying, as well as the decals, because I'd blown up some of the decals to be massive and stuff like that, and now I've got to change all the sizes of them. So yeah, we'll probably be back to Osaka Castle very soon, because we're on track finally. The biggest problems with the networks, and they're, as far as I'm aware, they're all working. I can't get cars to go across one bridge for some reason, so I think I might have to disable all the other roads, delete the bridge and re-put the bridge down to see if they use it. Because at the moment they're not using one of the bridges, and it's really weird. And I'm thinking it's because of when the node scuffed out and it went like halfway across my map and you could see through the ground. And yeah, I think there's just something a bit scuffed about it. So it's just that, and then Osaka Castle should be good to go again. I was wondering how I was gonna do the building later on in the episode, we're going to be placing down the buildings around like the Chinatown area. And I'll be honest, I kind of went a little bit lazy about doing it, and it's my own fault, but it's kind of not my fault at the same time, but it's my fault. I'd recorded this area so many times and basically just re-recorded it multiple times, like a full day, because I built it so many different ways before I finally settled on the way that I liked, because I was really struggling to get it to even look kind of like a Chinatown where you could still see a bit of the detail and you could still kind of see what was going on. And I finally settled for, instead of me just doing loads of props everywhere like what I was trying to do, and it just looked super cluttered, I decided on just picking a lot of buildings that already had their like props outside the building, and there was the insides of the buildings cut out with, you know, the doorways and some other essentials and whatnot, just to make it look a little bit more realistic, because I tried doing the shop fronts, the Japanese ones that you can put down, and I just never like, I think if you do like a little section like that, I think it's great, but when I was doing like a full road of it, it just wasn't looking good, I'll be honest. And it was causing me a massive headache because of it, because I was just building the Chinatown, dismantling it all. So cutting a long story short, I do get a little bit lazy with it, and I just end up doing like an overview where I've already selected all the buildings and I've just thrown them together, and then I'm just whacking them kind of back into place. So yeah, I am sorry for that. I normally like to show a bit more of building, but I was so drained and annoyed at building this that I was like, you know what? I'm just going to look at it from above, throw the buildings down, and I don't want to look at it anymore. So that's basically what I end up doing. So we're not going to focus too much on the building side of it. We're going to focus more on like the detailing and the area around that when we eventually get there. Now, I'm actually glad, because it was actually a friend of mine who mentioned about putting these barricades in, because I was using some other barriers and I thought they looked okay, but my friend was telling me that there should be some better barriers that actually look like barriers, and he actually helped me find these barriers in Find It, so that was kind of cool of him. And placing the people down, I did get a little bit lazy with that. You know, we built the area of Osaka Castle, and there's like the big open area at the beginning where I'd done like a few of the shops. I think it was the first episode actually. And I go over and I just copy the people from there and I bring them over here, and then I just start throwing them down, which you're probably going to see in like a minute or two, because I was thinking to myself, I've already kind of like done big crowds of people. So to save myself some time, and it's not like you're really going to kind of be able to tell, I just went over and grabbed them. I do make a couple of different groups, but for the majority it's just copy and pastes from other areas around the map. Now, I actually didn't realize, but I had bodyguards already downloaded for some strange reason. Don't know why. I don't know if they're part of like another pack or something, so it actually saved me looking for bodyguards with me already having them placed down. Now, here we are. These are the props that I'm on about that are from Osaka Castle. The patterns that they're in are just from there, so I'm just copying them and throwing them about as you do. But yeah. Now, I have been thinking about one or two things, because I do want to do another kind of area like Chinatown somewhere else on the map, and I'm thinking of doing it at the other side of Osaka Castle. I'm gonna do like some, it's going to be like kind of a rundown area that's going to lead to the docks and stuff like that. So I'm thinking of doing another type of Chinatown there, but it's going to be more old school because I've got these Chinese buildings that are like, I've used one or two of them in the past. They're like really run down and old school and concrete, and yeah, they just look really old and like abandoned. Well, not abandoned, but not maintained, I should say. So I'm thinking of doing like a back alley, just a straight line or something like that, of like these really old school Chinese shops. Just down this side. I'm gonna make it like really tiny, so you won't be able to get cars down there or anything. I'm gonna plan on putting like a load of shops down there. It'll be maybe like surrounded by 2-story buildings, so it's not gonna be super tall at all. It's just gonna be like an abandoned run down kind of neighborhood that's on the backside of the docks when we eventually get there. Because after building this area here, it really got me thinking of doing some other areas that are kind of similar to this, but with lower residential instead of high residential like what we've got here. Now this is what I mean by I was getting lazy. I just threw all the buildings on top of each other because I'd placed them down so many times that it was kind of doing my head in. I've never actually built an area so many times and then deleted it and built it again and deleted it and built it again and then kind of just kept little pieces every time I was doing it. But this area, I was the worst for it, but I think it was because I was wanting it to look really good, because there's still some parts I don't kind of like about it, but I'm not the best builder, so I'm still learning. And yeah, there's still some areas I think could be improved, but you know, I've said before, I've never built cities before, so I'm still learning as we're going, slow and steady. Now, before I do forget, I will be going away next week, so my idea is, because I won't have time to really do an episode, I think, like I say, I won't have time to do an episode. I'm thinking maybe I do a littler episode. So there's a train station that I've been meaning to build on the beach, which I'm going to show in next week's episode, because it's going to be the week after next week's episode that I'll be going away for a week. Maybe like a week and a half. I haven't really decided yet. But anyways, I'm thinking of just doing a smaller episode where we're just building that train station. I'm going to show it in next week's episode where I plan on doing the train station. And it's the one, if you remember, from the beach episode, the second one that we do. It's like just a floating, it's not detailed at all. It's on the higher side of the road, opposite where the beach is from the main train station that's on the beachfront. It's the train that's on them elevated tracks. Now I'm thinking of we just do an episode around that, because it's not too complicated and it won't take me like, you know, 2 or 3 days to do. It'll probably take me like a day to do. So then there's still an episode for the week, because the YouTube algorithm, when you don't post anything after you've done it regular, it seems to not want to show your stuff for some reason until you start posting again like regular. It's super weird. I don't know why there are algorithms like that. So what I'll do is I should have actually, wasn't really thinking at the time, but I should have I might just put a community post up tomorrow of the area that we'll be doing, maybe after the episode goes up or something, of the train station, because I'm not sure if you remember or not, it was quite a while ago that we actually built anything near the beach. But yeah, I'm going to be going away anyways. And I want an episode, so it'll probably be the train station or it'll be something small if I don't decide on the train station. But yeah, those are my plans for that. Now, I am going to be leaving you with the rest of the episode. We're basically just going to be putting down some more. I wanted a lower residential part still connected to the Chinatown section so you could see kind of like... I want that stacking effect, if that makes sense, where from the city center it's just getting lower and lower as we're going closer to the docks. And the docks are very close to where we kind of are right now. The only thing that's separating us is a motorway. And I haven't decided if I'm going to keep the train stop that's to the right that you can see there with the cargo on. I'm not sure if I'm going to just get rid of that and put something else there yet. I'm not too sure. We'll just kind of have to see. But yeah, we're basically just going to be finishing off this little neighborhood, and then we're going to be placing down the props down the actual road for the Chinatown. And then that'll be the end of it. The cinematics will be at the end, so I'm going to bid you all goodbye now, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the episode, and like always, I'll see you all in the next one. guys.